Part 135. Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1350. My aunt was overly enthusiastic, Yu Yang was modest and polite, and replied with a smile, "You can call me Yu Yang or Xiao Xiao. I have similar tastes to Jia Jia. I like all the dishes she likes." My aunt smiled from ear to ear, "It's so good, I don't have to worry about 3 meals a day in the future," and now many couples are arguing because they can't eat together. After finishing speaking, he placed a plate of pickled peppers and chicken feet in front of Zhuangjie. Zhuangjie's eyes widened immediately, and she wanted to ask, "Auntie, did you do it on purpose?" Although this dish is her favorite, can she eat chicken feet in front of Yu Yang? Kill him and quit. She also didn't want to see her godlike boyfriend eating chicken feet in full view. However, some people's movements are faster than her brain. Yu Yang especially cooperated with holding a phoenix claw, and gently put it into Zhuangjie's bowl, with a gentle smile, "So you like this, I haven't seen you eat it before." "In front of you, does Jia Jia always murmur that she wants to lose weight and eat some vegetable salad?" Auntie said with a smile. "In fact, she likes to eat marinated cooked food, chicken feet, duck necks, and beef tongue, pig ears, pigtails." "Auntie." Zhuangjie blushed and almost gritted her teeth. My aunt laughed loudly, "Oh, I'm so shy, I won't say anything." At this time, Grandma came out to help. "What can't be said about this? It will be a lifetime in the future. Do you want to hide it for the rest of your life? I think it would be better to let you know earlier." Grandpa, who has always been taciturn, also nodded in agreement. In the end, life is still about eating and drinking. If you can eat and talk together, your future life will be smooth. Zhuangjie listened silently, lowered her head, picked up the rice with chopsticks, and buried the chicken feet in the bowl. Yu Yang glanced at her and said with a smile, "What you said is that although Jia Jia and I have not been together for a long time, we are very compatible in life. My family is catering. If Jia Jia likes to eat cooked food, you can eat it in the future. Eating at home is cleaner than eating in workshops outside, so as not to damage your body. It can be said that it is very caring, and it can't be wrong at all." Zhuangjie thought, food. She only knew that Yu Yang had an older brother who was the chef. "Oh, it's for catering." Grandpa asked him, "Where is your home?" Faintly entered the inquiry mode. Yu Yang replied, "My hometown is in Hu County." Everyone's face was a little dazed. Yu Yang added, "Xiaofengshan." Everyone suddenly realized, oh, Xiaofengshan, it's a good place. It's like everyone knows Mount Everest, but who knows which county Mount Everest is in? In Tingri County, Tibet. Zhuangjie's uncle said, "The hot spring villa in Xiaofeng Mountain is very famous. It's called Lan Palace. I went there once when I was traveling just to soak in the hot springs, just to taste what the ancient emperors ate." Uncle smacked his mouth, as if he was still savoring it. "That taste, if it wasn't too difficult to make an appointment, I really want to eat it again." The aunt looked at her husband's greedy appearance, and couldn't help but blame him. "If you have something delicious, you will take care of yourself, so why don't you bring me and the children with you?" "Oh, that trip was organized by the unit," Uncle explained. "Isn't it okay to bring family members if it's organized by the unit? You never like to travel far, I thought you wouldn't go." "If you don't ask me, how do you know I'm not going? Maybe I want to go. I've been with you for most of my life, and you eat royal meals outside, so I deserve to take care of the children at home." Auntie said a lot of words. "Even if you don't think about me, why don't you think about your parents? My parents are getting old, how good it is to go to the hot spring villa to recuperate." Yu Yang said, "If uncle and aunt like it, they can come and play at any time. I'll let my family arrange it, no appointment required. Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, Your wife is born again. Author, HandsomeMaleLead. Chapter 1351. There was a sudden silence at the dinner table. Everyone looked at Yu Yang with shock. Zhuangjia blurted out, "Didn't you say last time that your third brother is the chef?" After asking, I realized that I seemed to be dismantling my boyfriend's platform, and I couldn't help but feel a little embarrassed. Yu Yang smiled and said, "Yes, the chef of Langong. There is nothing wrong with that." Shenzhenru asked Yu Yang, "Are the other brothers and sisters also working in Lan Palace?" She is the most calm. In fact, among the boys who pursued Zhuangjia in the past, there were many from rich families. It's just that Yu Yang's temperament is so different here, which makes people so shocked. There is also an older sister and an older brother. The eldest sister is the manager of the kitchen, and the second brother is not in the kitchen. He is mainly responsible for the operation and management of the entire villa. Yu Yang replied carefully, "My parents are old and have no business. They usually grow vegetables at home. Brew wine, pass the time." Uncle couldn't help asking, "Then why didn't you learn how to cook?" It is really strange that the whole family inherits the mantle of their parents, but Yu Yang is the only prosecutor. Yu Yang smiled and said, "I am the youngest in my family. My family spoiled me and I developed a bad temper. My grandpa said that I am too bad-tempered to be a chef. What I can achieve in the future depends on my self-creation." "You are so modest," my aunt laughed. "If you are bad-tempered like this, then there are no good-tempered people." The others also laughed a few times. A table of guests and hosts enjoyed themselves. As for Zheng Zhen's boyfriend, I don't know, no one pays attention to the background wall, and the author doesn't bother to write. After the meal, the leftovers, dishes, and chopsticks on the table were cleaned up, another pot of tea was made and served, and everyone continued to chat. Zhuangjia sat shyly beside Yu Yang, silently listening to him being questioned by his relatives, feeling that the 18 generations of his ancestors had been questioned over and over again. Yu Yang has always been calm, answering with great patience. Grandma asked Yu Yang why he came over suddenly today. Yu Yang explained, "In the past few years, my parents have been urging me urgently, saying that if I don't bring someone back, then don't go back. I originally wanted to take Jia home this year, but Jia was shy and embarrassed to go, so I decided not to go back. Stay in Xinjiang, and wait until the first day of the new year to come to pay New Year's greetings." "Oh, isn't it because you didn't go home during the Chinese New Year?" Auntie couldn't help but interjected, looking at Yu Yang sympathetically. "It's so deserted to be alone during the Chinese New Year, and the family will also miss you. Let Jia go back with you later. Let's also wish your parents a new year, say hello, it's called the New Year when it's lively." Zhuangjia looked at Yu Yang in a daze, and then at his aunt. "Are you really going?" "If you don't really go, why don't you go?" my aunt said eagerly. "You have never been shy since you were a child, why are you shy at this critical moment? Hey, I am so anxious." Zhuangjia. "Isn't it a bit too fast?" Shenzhenru said. "It's a good thing that the relationship between the two is good, but after all, we only got along for a few months, why don't we wait?" After Shenzhenru finished speaking, Grandma nodded approvingly. "Well, it's a bit fast." My aunt suddenly felt confused that the emperor was not in a hurry and the eunuchs were in a hurry. Then when can we see each other? Wait until the two of them are in a good mood before going. If something is wrong with the family, it will be too late to solve it. Why don't we see you soon? You, I'm not targeting you, I'm straight, don't mind. Yu Yang kept smiling all the time. "I don't mind, you are doing it for Jia's good. After all, we are going to get married. It is better to understand clearly. This is human nature. Family atmosphere, property and debt, whether there is a family genetic diseases, it's hard for me to say these things clearly. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, your wife is born again. Author, HandsomeMaleLead. Chapter 1352. You're so right, my aunt nodded repeatedly, that's what I want to say. She lowered her voice and continued, families that know how to cook royal meals should be very traditional. Jia is so fashionable, and I don't know if her parents like it or not. I heard that in some conservative families, women are not allowed to serve meals. Grandma frowned when she heard this, and turned to discuss with Shenzhen, how about, let Jia go and see. The meaning is very clear, if the other party is really that kind of family, it's better to get out as soon as possible. This world is very realistic. When men and women fall in love, although they devote the same time and affection, the one who suffers more in the end is always the woman. Jia didn't have a chance to intervene in the whole process. She just felt that the plot took a sharp turn, which made her dizzy. She watched as several elders rushed to finalize her itinerary, asking her to go with Yu Yang in the afternoon and play for a few more days. Look deep into family situations. Jia hesitated, could it be too sudden? Her aunt said quickly, oh, my eldest lady, you don't even think it's sudden to get married, so what's so sudden about going to relatives in a serious way? Cough, cough, Shenzhen coughed harshly twice. It is a big taboo to take office early in front of the current incumbent. My aunt also knew she had made a slip of the tongue, so she closed her mouth, smiled embarrassingly, and went to the kitchen. Jia and Shenzhen went back to the room to pack their things, while Yu Yang stayed in the living room, continuing to communicate with Jia's grandfather, uncle, aunt, uncle, etc. Jia came to his grandparents to celebrate the new year, and he only planned to stay for a few days, so he didn't bring much clothes. Looking through the suitcase now, I can't help but feel a little frustrated. I still think it's too sudden, I'm not prepared at all. She took out a few clothes and compared them on her body, but she was not satisfied no matter what. If I knew today, I should have ordered a few cheongsams before. His parents might like more traditional girls, sigh, but I wear cheongsams so strangely, I don't look as beautiful as Hinyuan and Zizi. Jia rummaged to herself while tossing through her clothes. Shenzhen looked at her daughter with complicated emotions. What happened suddenly? From her point of view, it was clearly Yu Yang Yubei who came to pay New Year's greetings. Every word he said fell on Kikan, and his thoughts were very deep. She doesn't mind that a man is deep-minded, and he is willing to spend his time on his daughter, which is better than those who don't care, but seeing Jia's poisoned look. Shenzhen couldn't help shaking her head and sighing. He has been eaten to death, and there is no cure. Put this on. She walked over to match Jia's clothes. Your personality is too lively, and you can't wear the classic softness of cheongsam. Although the clothes are just a piece of cloth, they also pay attention to the aura. The wearer should speak softly, walk lightly with lotus steps, and be reserved and reserved. Elegant charm, let you wear a cheongsam, and you will lose your look when you laugh out loud. Mom, you make me sound like a bandit. Jia pouted. Well, no wonder he was arrested by the prosecutor. Shenzhen's tone was rather helpless. Jia tilted her head and looked at Shenzhen. Mom, don't like Yu Yang? Shenzhen said, it doesn't matter whether I like him or not, can you leave him if I don't like him? Jia was stunned for a moment, and looked at Shenzhen in a daze. Shenzhen smiled, and patted Jia on the back, I don't have any complaints about Yang. He is a nice guy, but I am worried that he is too powerful. When you are wronged in the future, my mother will not be able to support you. Parents probably have this kind of ambivalence. They hope that their daughters will marry a good man, but if they are too good, They are afraid that their mother's family will not be able to help them when there is a conflict. Shenzhenru looked at her daughter and sighed silently in her heart. She felt that Zhuangjie was not shrewd, but in front of Yu Yang, that little shrewdness became a fascination. Blessed to have each other in this life, Mu Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1353. Zhuangjie packed her luggage, was sent downstairs by her family, and got into Yu Yang's car. It is impossible to say that you are not nervous when you go to see your future in-laws so solemnly. The whole family gave her advice either directly or implicitly. Grandpa and Grandma asked her to be polite and follow the rules when she went out. The uncle told her to pay attention to Yu Yang's two elder brothers. If the elder brothers are all playboys, she has to consider the possibility of Yu Yang's derailment after marriage. My aunt was also very concerned about this matter, and asked her to observe whether the relationship between Yu Yang's mother and daughter-in-law was harmonious, and what the daughter-in-law's family status was like. Zheng Zhen told her to be wary of Yu Yang's eldest sister. If there are older sisters in the family, if they have a strong personality, they usually like to dictate to the younger brother's family affairs. Zhuangjie listened with a little embarrassment, trying to remember everyone's instructions. When it was Shenzhenru's turn, her mother frowned and thought for a long time. She seemed to have nothing to say, and said, "After you go, let nature take its course. As long as his family has eyes, they will see your good points." The uncle was very speechless. "Well, we've been rambling a lot, and it's your turn to let nature take its course, so what did we just say for nothing?" My aunt also had an opinion. "Yes, sister, you are too relaxed." When Zheng Zhen was going to Xiaoman's house, I talked with her almost all night by candlelight. She's still nervous. Shenzhenru laughed. "I myself am a failure in marriage, what advice can I give her? It would be nice if it doesn't delay her." Zhuangjie was very happy at first, but when she heard her mother's words, she felt a little uncomfortable. At this time, I heard my grandmother ask again, "Why hasn't Xiaokan come back?" Zhuangjie's attention shifted slightly. "Yes, where did Aunt go?" Just as he was thinking about it, he saw not far away, my aunt came striding out panting, carrying a large and small gift box. "It's still in the car, go and get it for yourself," my aunt said panting. Uncle and little uncle trotted away quickly. Mother and auntie took the things from auntie, piles of them, and stuffed them into the carriage behind Yu Yang. For Chinese New Year, you can't go to someone's house empty-handed. "You take all these things with you," my aunt said. "Although his family may not lack these things, it's just a matter of heart, and there are some local products, so let's eat them fresh." Zhuangjie looked in surprise at the fullness of the rear compartment. Could it be too much? "Oh, he has many brothers and sisters." My aunt wiped the sweat from her brow. "For so many years of goods, it is impossible to buy them all in one place, and many shops are closed on the first day of the new year. It seems that my aunt has spent a lot of effort on this trip." Zhuangjie was very moved in her heart, as if her aunt's bad mouth was not so annoying anymore. Loading the car and setting off, my aunt took Zhuangjie's hand before leaving, and whispered, "Go and behave well, be sweet, and make the old man happy is the most important thing. In the future, when you live well, don't forget aunt. I will give you Xinyu cousin finds a good partner, and then helps Shen Xingxing find a good school." Zhuangjie, "Well, can you touch me a little longer?" Finally set off. The car was driving steadily on the highway. After driving for about 2 hours, Yu Yang slowly parked the car on the emergency driveway, let out a breath, and leaned back tiredly. Zhuangjie thought he was tired, so she moved closer, and gently pressed his temples in a very sensible way. "Close your eyes and rest for a while before driving, we are not in a hurry anyway." Hearing her concern, Yu Yang raised his mouth slightly, lowered her seat, and hugged her into his arms. "Actually, I'm not tired, it's because our car is out of gas." "Out of gas, Zhuangjie opened his eyes wide. Yu Yang didn't seem like a person who would make such a mistake. According to my calculations, we should have reached the next gas station by now. Yu Yang smiled helplessly. However, I missed our end. The greater the load, the greater the fuel consumption. Zhuangjie was stunned, and after a while, she couldn't help laughing into his arms. And the fourth watch is over, and I will go to Yang's house tomorrow. I feel that I can't finish writing. It may take the day after tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow. What I want to say is that I am deeply shocked by the recent situation in the book review area. The author's mood at the moment is very complicated. Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1354. Zhuangjie and Yu Yang were stuck on the highway, and after waiting for about an hour, people from Yu's family came to pick them up. It was Yu Yang's third brother, Yu Rong, who came. Yu Yang said that parents hope that their children will be like trees and have the tenacity of trees, so the names of the brothers and sisters in his family are all related to trees. The eldest sister is Yu Feng, the second brother is Yu Song, the third brother Yu Rong, and the youngest Yu Yang. Zhuangjie tried hard to write it down, a little worried that she might confuse these names. She followed Yu Yang into his third brother's car, and Yu Yang's car was handled by another person. On the road, the two brothers occasionally chatted a few words, which made people feel very ordinary. It's not unfamiliar and ordinary, but home, relaxed, and chatting with familiar relatives, the warm intimacy is revealed in the water-like innocence. To be honest, Zhuangjie was a little excited, even though nothing happened. But thinking that he might see a different Yu Yang, he felt that all the details in front of him became meaningful. While Yu Yang was chatting with his third brother, Zhuangjie's phone screen lit up many times. It was the sisters in the group who sent the message. She is going to meet her future in-laws soon, such an important matter, of course she will share it with her good sisters. One is to relieve tension, and the other is to find them to learn from and listen to their opinions. However, the second point is obviously unrealistic. Muzi has no parents-in-law, only a silly and sweet mother. Zhang Xinyuan has no parents-in-law, only an uncle who doesn't care about things. Zhuangjie held the phone in her arms and tapped the message with her fingers. Yu Yang turned his head to look at her. Zhuangjie noticed it, and immediately covered the phone in embarrassment. I can't watch it. I've already seen it. Yu Yang smiled. They asked you if you are afraid of going deep into the dragon's pool and tiger's lair. Zhuangjie blushed slightly. It's somewhat impolite to describe other people's homes as dragon pools and tiger dens. It's just a joke, mainly to describe her uneasy mood at the moment. Yu Yang put his arms around her shoulders and pointed to the front. Did you see that mountain? In front of the road, there are continuous mountains, surrounded by snow and fog, which are very majestic and magnificent. Yu Yang whispered in her ear, I'll sell you to the mountains in a while, and enter my dragon pool and tiger den, so don't even think about leaving. The breath he exhaled lightly sprayed on her ears, and Zhuangjie felt that not only his face was hot, but his ears were also hot. This feeling, how can I describe it? She raised her eyes to look at Yu Yang, stretched out her finger, and poked the playful smile on the corner of his mouth, as if she could sense his joy at this moment. Yu Yang, who came home, was a little more childish. Well, it's a bit skinny. It was about 7:30 in the evening when we arrived at the hot spring villa. The sunset is early in winter, and it is already dark at this time, but the villa is brightly lit. In the patchwork of classical buildings, there is a corridor full of lanterns winding up the mountain road, illuminating the garden scenery along the way. No wonder it is called Land Palace. It really looks like a palace where ancient emperors played. It's a pity that the sky is too dark now. If it is daytime, the scenery must be more beautiful against the snow scene. Zhuangjie looked thoughtfully at the scenery outside the car window. At this moment, the car stopped steadily. She and Yu Yang got off at the intersection, and the third brother Yu Rong drove the car to the parking place. It is very big here, and all of them are ancient buildings. You can't see the eye-catching lighting signs of modernization, so you can't tell what each building is for. Zhuangjie looked around, feeling a little confused for a while. Where is your home? Yu Yang said, these are all. Zhuangjie was speechless, and complained in a low voice, you are perfunctory, knowing what I mean. Yu Yang was silent for a while, leaned over slightly, and said in a low voice, I know, you are asking about my family members, but I don't know where they are all. There are too many houses in my family. Zhuangjie. This time I was really speechless. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1355. Then what should we do? Zhuangjie looked at Yu Yang, why don't you call and ask? Yu Yang said, my third brother is the only one who uses a mobile phone at home. Zhuangjie silently remembers, he likes to use trees for his name, and the whole family doesn't like to use mobile phones. Wait a while, when my brother comes, let him lead the way. Yu Yang pulled off his coat, wrapped Zhuangjie in his arms, pressed his forehead against hers and asked, is it cold? In fact, it was a bit cold, after all, it was in the mountains, but snuggling in his arms was very warm, and my heart was also warm. It's not cold, she raised her head and smiled, I'm just hungry and want to eat the legendary imperial meal. His smiling eyes melted into a bit of warmth, and his voice was low, if you have eaten at my family's food, you will be a member of my family from now on. After hearing this, Zhuangjie buried her head in his arms and urged, hold me tight. Yu Yang didn't know why, so he hugged her tightly as he did, what's the matter, is it still cold? No, Zhuangjie shook her head in his arms, I'm just so happy, my whole body is erratic, as if I'm about to fly. Yu Yang was stunned for a moment, and couldn't help laughing, and hugged her even tighter. There was a faint fragrance in her hair, and her body was leaning against each other softly. Yu Yang felt his heart beating, and more emotions surged up, clamoring, and he couldn't find an outlet to vent. He couldn't help himself, he leaned down and kissed her cheek, and kissed her soft and tender lips, but it wasn't enough, so he stuck his tongue in, sucking and enjoying it like a treasure. There is a predatory nature hidden in the male bones, and he will bring his beloved back to his cave, make it full of his own breath, do whatever he wants, and obtain incomparable psychological satisfaction and incomparable happiness. The fashionable saying is, I am the master of my territory. Compared with the past, Yu Yang who returned home was less restrained and more casual and indulgent. The third elder brother Yu Rong went back and forth, didn't get too close, but stopped not far away very reservedly. Zhuangjie was out of breath in Yang's arms, and after a while, she realized that there was someone on the side of the road. The red tide on her face that hadn't faded away immediately surged up again, even the tips of her ears were red. At this time, the other party came slowly, with a gentle smile on their face, passed them by, and walked ahead to lead the way. Zhuangjie's heart was pounding, wondering how much Yu Yang's brother had seen just now. Yu Yang didn't mind at all, he took Zhuangjie's hand calmly and followed him leisurely. Because of her embarrassment and guilty conscience, Zhuangjie didn't bother to appreciate the scenery, and walked with her head depressed the whole time, until she heard laughter. She looked up at the surrounding environment. In the courtyard where he was located, many big red lanterns were hung, beaming with joy, and the door of the house was wide open in front of him, and Zhuangjianen could clearly hear the voices inside. There was a local accent in their words, and Zhuangjie barely understood them. Yu Yang is back. Mom, Yu Yang has brought his girlfriend back. Do you want to bet how long you will last this time? Don't talk about your brother like that, it's not easy for him to find a girlfriend. Understood, Dad, I was joking. Zhuangjia glanced at Yu Yang silently, thinking that maybe he heard it wrong. She adjusted her breathing, stepped in cautiously, and found that the room was full of people. Even though he had prepared himself mentally, he couldn't help but widen his eyes in astonishment at this moment, because there were so many people. They sat around a very large round table, all with kind smiles on their faces, looking at her and Yu Yang in unison, and maybe because of blood relationship, many faces were very similar, so that Zhuangjia was stunned. I don't know who is who, let alone who to greet first. Blessed to have each other in this life, Mu Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1356. Yu Yang led her to two kind-hearted old men and introduced Zhuangjia to them. The dialect was spoken, and Zhuangjia didn't quite understand it, so she thought to herself, they should be Yu Yang's parents. With silver hair and a ruddy complexion, he looks like a healthy old man in his 70s or 80s, which is quite old, but if there are many brothers and sisters in the family, it seems normal for the parents to be older. After Yu Yang's introduction, he introduced his family members to Zhuangjia. This is my grandpa, my grandma. Zhuangjia was taken aback. So it's not his parents, but if it's grandparents, so young. Yu Yang introduced her parents again, a couple who looked to be in their 50s or 60s, with the same kind demeanor. Then there are Yu Yang's uncle, aunt, eldest sister, eldest brother-in-law, second brother, second sister-in-law, third brother, third sister-in-law, cousin, cousin sister-in-law, cousin sister-in-law, and all their children. It was very difficult, Zhuangjia only remembered the first four. She was very terrified, it was easy to remember the face in her mind, but how to accurately correspond to the identity was a big problem. If you get your identity wrong, not only will you lose face, but you will also embarrass the other party. The dazzling array of delicacies on the table could no longer attract Zhuangjia's attention. After she was seated, she pretended to eat calmly. Brother as brother-in-law. Yu Yang turned his head and whispered in her ear, it doesn't matter if you don't remember, after meeting a few more times, you will naturally get familiar with it. Zhuangjia was slightly taken aback, and looked at Yu Yang, wondering how he knew she was remembering someone. It's been a long time since I ate a green onion. Yu Yang took out a piece of green onion from her bowl, and then picked up some others for her. These dishes are specially made for you, eat more, Grandpa and Grandma will be very happy. Zhuangjia stopped embarrassing herself, shifted her goal, and put the first priority on the food in front of her. I have to say, there are so many dishes, this table is really big, it's the first time she has seen such a big round table. While eating, Zhuangjia subconsciously looked up when she heard the old man at the dinner table say something with a smile. Her name was vaguely mentioned in the words. It was a bit embarrassing, the old man's accent was heavier than everyone else's, she couldn't understand, so she could only keep smiling. Yu Yang helped her translate, Grandma praised you for being beautiful. Oh, I got it. But what the old man said seemed to be quite a long paragraph, how could the translation be so short? Zhuangjia didn't think much, and smiled shyly at the old man, thank you Grandma. Sitting diagonally opposite was a child, I don't know if it was Yu Yang's nephew or what his identity was, his dark eyes rolled and he said suddenly, Grandma Tai said that you have a deep, long, and clear face, you will be easy to bear children in the future, and your cheeks are full and round, in the future, if you have a good relationship with children, and your lips are ruddy and shiny, it means that you are in good health and easy to conceive, and you also say that your butt looks good. Say you. The rest of the words were covered by his mother. Is that mother a cousin or a cousin? Ah, she couldn't remember anymore, she just felt that her expression was slightly cracked at the moment. Yu Yang picked up some food for her and comforted her calmly. Grandma said that in a traditional way, meaning the same thing, to praise you for your good looks and beauty. Zhuangjie. Please don't make such assumptions, please. Forget it, she might as well pretend to concentrate on eating to ease the embarrassment. After a few mouthfuls, Yu Yang's grandma laughed happily again and said a lot, this time to the grandfather beside her. Grandpa nodded, and then, the eyes of the two old men sometimes fell on Yang and sometimes on Zhuangjie, very kind. Yu Yang comforted her again. Grandma said that she has arranged a place for you, and I hope you can get used to it. Zhuangjie hurriedly put on a humble look, just look at the arrangement, I don't pick anything. Blessed to have each other in this life, Mu Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1357. Before Zhuangjie finished speaking, the little boy diagonally opposite spoke again. Grandma said that uncle brought back a princess. The bed sheets should be made of long staple cotton satin, the quilt should be made of cashmere, and the towels should be made of avati long staple cotton. The little boy's mouth was covered by his mother again. Gooey gooey, don't be naughty. Do you know how difficult it is for Uncle Yu Yang to find a girlfriend? The other party tried to persuade the child, and finally smiled apologetically at Zhuangjie. But Zhuangjie didn't see it. Because her head was hanging down tightly, she just wanted to find a crack in the ground to get in. God, could it be any more embarrassing for her? Zhuangjie's embarrassment was seen by everyone, and Yu Yang's grandparents were very worried, fearing that they would not treat the guests well, so they said a lot of words with concern. Yu Yang said to Zhuangjie, Grandpa and Grandma let you feel free and treat you like your own family. Everyone likes you very much. Zhuangjie looked up at Yu Yang with frustration and shame on his face, as if asking, can I still trust your translation? Yu Yang coughed lightly, this time it's true. After a slight pause, he added, the previous few times were not fake, they were just a short expression. She was speechless. Zhuangjie didn't know how to finish the first dinner with Yu's family. He felt awkward from beginning to end, and he was a failure. After dinner, Yu Yang took her to the place where she rested. It was a very elegant yard with plum blossoms in front of the house and a small hot spring pool in the back. The house was covered with wooden floors and a complete set of classical furniture, which was quite Tang style. Even so, Zhuangjie's lost heart still couldn't be saved. It's over, your family must think that I am very hypocritical, difficult to serve, and picky. Zhuangjie wanted to close his eyes as long as he recalled the little boy's words, actually, I can really be virtuous. They all like you, Yu Yang said. Zhuangjie lay paralyzed on the bed, silently feeling the texture of long staple cotton satin, thinking, how is it possible? When we met for the first time, she didn't do anything serious, so why should people like her? It's not bad if you don't hate it. She closed her eyes again. This feeling is really hopeless. Seeing her dejected appearance, Yu Yang felt a little funny, walked over and pulled her into his arms, and kissed her closed eyes which resisted to accept the reality. I'm serious, Yu Yang coaxed her with a smile, the more particular and picky you are, the happier my grandparents will be. If such a delicate little girl is willing to be my girlfriend, isn't I even better? Zhuangjie opened her eyes and looked at him, confused. Although he knew that Yu Yang was trying to make her happy, it sounded like, the logic was impeccable. Her mood improved slightly, and she rested her head on his shoulder, thinking about the layout of the room, and couldn't help but ask, didn't we come here at the last minute? Why does everything seem to have been prepared early in the morning? There's no way things like plush cotton satin sheets, cashmere winter quilts, and avati plush cotton towels just popped out of nowhere. Tell the truth, she poked Yu Yang's chest with her finger, did you premeditate? This is for emergencies. Yu Yang grabbed her hand, pressed it to the corner of her lips and kissed, with an inexplicable smile in his eyes, the shirt is also prepared for you, Do you want to change it? Zhuangjia blushed and turned her head. No. But I want it. Yu Yang's hand reached into her clothes, his palm was warm, and he caressed the soft skin leisurely. His voice became soft and slightly hoarse. I want it very much. Zhuangjia stared blankly at him with a blushing face for a long time, then murmured softly, You have changed. Yu Yang laughed, put his arms around her and asked, What has become? Zhuangjia pursed her lips and said nothing, but she was thinking in her heart, It's gone bad. It may also be that this special place has opened the fence, allowing the long-sleeping evil factor to move around. He bit her neck lightly, leaving shallow marks, teasing her deliberately, Do you like me? Zhuangjia felt dizzy and exhaled slowly. Hate. My heart is going to be crisp. A friend recently released a new book, let me tweet it, Hotspot Mr. Bayou's Mysterious Emperor, Detonate Love. The heroine is an undercover reporter. This kind of career setting seems to be quite novel among the big presidents. I'm looking forward to it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1358. Yu Yang lightly stroked the position where he had bitten just now, his fingertips were slightly rough, and he rubbed it leisurely. The thin white neck, tender skin, dotted with little red marks, gave birth to infinitely charming thoughts. Do you like me? He asked again, his voice very low. Zhuangjia bit her lip and looked at him, and gave an inaudible hum. Her cheeks were already flushed. His fingertips went down, from the neck, across the collarbone, and landed on her heart. There, the heartbeat was thumping, and it was chaotic. She took a small breath, her whole body was tense, she just felt that if she didn't control herself anymore, her beating heart would burst out of her chest and jump into his palm at any time. With a smile in his eyes, he half coaxed and half asked, How much do you like it? How much do you like it? I like it very much, I like it very much, I like it so much that I am dying, I want to give you everything, everything, even my life. She hugged his neck, kissed his lips clumsily and eagerly, her mind was chaotic, she never thought that she would fall in love with someone so crazily. I heard him laughing lightly. The voice was soft and hoarse, coming from the heart, with sincere joy. Yu Yang hugged her and pressed her on the bed, said with a smile, Slow down, I knocked my teeth. Zhuangjia pursed her lips and looked at him anxiously, feeling wronged, helpless, obsessed, bewildered, and ignorant of what to expect. The clear and moist pupils were filled with various emotions, all of which reflected him. Yu Yang stared downcast, his breathing became rough. I like it when you look at me like this, it's so cute. He kissed Zhuangjia's eyelids, then her cheeks, earlobes, and chin. She didn't seal her lips because the sound of breathing was so charming. Reaching out to take off her clothes, Zhuangjia struggled to get up, and also went to unbutton his clothes. He still remembered that he was fully dressed last time when he was stripped naked. It was not fair to do it again. But Yu Yang easily grabbed her wrist, pushed it to the top of her head and held it down. The strength was obviously weak, but she couldn't resist for some reason. Watching his head buried, the warm lips finally stick to the skin softly. Ah, the location of the heart. It was his favorite position, and she gradually began to like it. The kiss was like kissing on the tip of her heart, it was numb and comfortable. Spending the night together, the two of them almost missed each other. Perhaps strong feelings are the ubiquitous catalyst, making every intimate contact extremely dangerous. A kiss, a touch, may flood and spread into a prairie fire. Yu Yang fixed her clothes, his breathing was unstable. I have to get up early tomorrow, so I won't bother you. He rubbed her face with his index finger, and whispered, Good night. Zhuangjia was lying on the bed, gasping for breath, and didn't speak. Until Yu Yang left, she was still lying motionless. After a long time, her breathing gradually calmed down and her heartbeat returned to a normal rate. She sat up and looked down at a striking dark red on her left chest. Such a deep color. Sucking so hard. At that time, my heart was beating like thunder, and my soul seemed to be sucked away by him. She was not like her, and he was not like him. It was a terrible feeling. Zhuangjia raised her hand to cover it gently, and let out a breath slowly. Although I feel a little lost now for no reason, there is also a kind of ease for the rest of my life after a catastrophe. She turned her head to look at the mobile phone on the table. The indicator light kept blinking. If she ignored them for so long, the group news must have blown up, right? Unlock the screen to view messages. Zhang Xinyuan and Mu Ziyi in the group chat happily. There is no news so late, she should have been eaten and wiped clean, right? Zhuangjia quickly made an emoji to show her innocence. Mu Ziyi was surprised, so fast. Blessed to have each other in this life, Mu Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1359. Zhang Xinyuan answered immediately, maybe it started early. Mu Ziyi said, I still have the strength to play with my mobile phone, it seems that Yu Yang is very restrained. Zhang Xinyuan said, Prosecutor Yu Yang has always been very restrained. If this kind of thing can be restrained, it is incompetent. Plus a laughing emoji. Zhuangjia was ashamed and immediately sent a message, you too. Treat me as a dead person. After the message was sent out, it was discovered that the last message just now came from Zhang Xiyi, who has been diving all year round and never spoke. Zhuangjia, it's kind of embarrassing, Sister Zhang Xiyi also laughed at me. Zhang Xiyi quickly withdrew the message. Zhuangjia. Zhang Xiyi said, Jia, good boy, you didn't see anything, that guy got promoted recently, so I can't afford to mess with him. Mu Ziyi had a serious face, Zhang Xiyi, where's your backbone? Zhang Xiyi, oh, what a joke, my sister is too lazy to argue with a 30-year-old virgin. Mu Ziyi. Zhang Xinyuan. Zhuangjia. System, Zhang Xiyi withdrew a message. Mu Ziyi once again seriously criticized Zhang Xiyi, the basic morality of online chatting is not to scold, not spread rumors, and not withdraw. Zhang Xiyi, huh? How do you know I withdrew it? After a while, Zhang Xiyi sent another message, this function is not well designed. Withdrawing the message should disappear without a sound. How can other people also receive the reminder? It's so uncut. The group was silent for a long time. Zhuangjia felt very tired. Just as she was about to put down her phone and go to sleep, Zhuangjia glanced at them and saw that they had sent a few new messages. She was trying to cheer her up and tell her to take a firm stand and not to take advantage of Yu Yang too early. Zhuangjia edited the news, poked her fingers a few times, and couldn't help but stop. She looked at the screen of her mobile phone, and after a while, she deleted the words she edited. Absolutely stand firm one by one. Absolutely what? What are you firm about? Even she didn't believe this kind of words. If he hadn't stopped just now, she would have given up her armor, she was so fascinated, how could she still have the willpower to resist the temptation? Can't do it at all. The next day, Zhuangjia woke up very early. Yesterday, the journey was full of travel and dust. Seeing relatives and friends eating dinner, all kinds of nerves were tense. Afterwards, she had a long fight with Yu Yang. She thought that she would not be able to wake up if she fell asleep, so she specially set the alarm clock for 7 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, people are already awake. Maybe it's because the environment is unfamiliar. I tried to get back to sleep, but I didn't feel any drowsiness, so I simply got up and took a shower. The sky outside was dark, with some faint light. Looking out of the window, you can see the white snow and plum blossoms in the courtyard. Looking further into the distance, there are mountains filled with clouds and mist, and stars that are not extinguished in the sky. This place is so beautiful. Did he grow up here? Has he looked at that star too? Zhuangjie lay down by the window and daydreamed. Wake up too early, with nothing to do, even if you want to chat online, you may not be able to find a sober person. She put on her clothes and went out for a stroll. The air in the mountains was fresh and cold. She took a deep breath and swallowed it, as if she had a piece of mint in her mouth, which was very refreshing. Appreciating the scenery is one thing, but also wanting to be familiar with the environment. If you can find Yu Yang's residence in by chance and coincidence, that would be great. She clutched her little heart. Self-reflection, spring heart sprouts early in the morning, this is not good. Well, not good. Zhuangjie took a few steps and saw maple trees planted in one yard, and walked a few more steps and saw pine trees planted in another yard. Immediately, my heart was like a mirror. This is too easy to guess, right? You can plant a tree by whatever name it is called, and there must be a poplar tree in Yu Yang's yard. In fact, she is not familiar with the species of trees, but maple and pine trees are still easy to identify, and poplar trees are also common. She continued to walk confidently. At first, she still had some interest in enjoying the scenery, but then she became impatient. Because she never saw a poplar tree.